Hey chat, welcome to the very first episode of Ghost Waiting. I'm your host, Helio, and this is my totally willing co-host.
Hey, don't lie to them. They bribed me, do not get it mixed up.
She's just being stubborn, ignore her. Anyways, in case you're an idiot and didn't read the damn description, let me give y'all a summary of what this is. Basically, me and Callie over here work at probably the weirdest place this side of the solar system. From the outside, it just seems like a normal 2.5-star restaurant. We don't get many customers, but when we do, they're usually just the average tired traveler since we're located pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But really, when you work here, you pretty quickly start to notice some weird shit. It starts small, dishes going missing, doors closing behind you when there's no breeze, but then...
This place is haunted as shit.
Couldn't just let me have my moment, huh?
You talk too much. You need someone to cut you off sometimes.
This is literally a podcast. The point is to talk too much.
Yeah, but if I let you keep talking, it would have taken you half an hour to get to the point, and I would have been stuck here way longer than I want to be.
You are actually such a killjoy. She is right, though. The place we work is definitely super haunted. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even just say haunted. Don't know if half the things that happen there even count as ghostly activity. Like, one time I went out to the dumpsters in the back, and I swear there was some kind of creature there. It def wasn't anything normal, but nobody believes me.
It sounded like it was just a really scruffy stray dog. Not everything has to be paranormal around here.
It had 3 rows of teeth.
It was also really dark out, and you have terrible vision.
You've only known me for, 2 days. How do you know my vision's bad?
You called me Carter when you saw my name tag, which pretty clearly does not say Carter. So either you're dyslexic or you've got crap eyesight, and I'm pretty sure you're not dyslexic considering you perfectly read the word Worcestershire, whatever the stupid sauce is called, off the inventory list.
Worcestershire. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a way I could spin what you just said as ableist, but I can't quite grasp it right now. Anyways, yeah, I guess my vision's pretty bad, but I don't know how blurry eyesight could create, 3 rows of very distinct teeth.
By the way, why don't you wear, glasses or contacts or something? Seems like a kinda stupid decision to walk around half blind when you could literally do something about it.
My dad never agreed to take me to the optometrist, and I'm finally gonna be 18 in 2 months anyways, so who cares?
You're 17? I thought you were, mid-20s or something. Damn, you look old.
What? Okay, first of all, rude. Second of all, what kind of creep do you take me for? You think I'm just this 25-year-old guy paying 16-year-olds to be on their stupid podcast? Why would you even...
I'm 18, moron. Jesus Christ, I thought you were a weirdo, but never, that level of creepy, so don't throw a fit over it.
Okay, there's no way you're older than... We are getting so off track. What was that you said about never getting to the point?
Shut your trap. You're just as weird as the paranormal shit we see every day at work, so I'm sure you could count as a valid subject for your little project.
Thanks. Anyways, why don't you start us off by describing your first day on the job, for, narrative interest and stuff?
This is literally your podcast. Why am I the one doing the talking?
Dude, I'm gonna be doing so much talking later, gotta give you a chance to get a story in.
I don't even want to be here. Alright, fine, whatever. So, I've been looking for a job for a little while because, surprise, surprise, people are bigoted and it's kind of hard to get hired when God made you specifically to try and fill out his minority bingo card. It also seems that I have literally the worst luck in the world, so whatever powers that be clearly have some kind of weird grudge against me. This place, which will go unnamed for legal reasons, happened to be the only place to even email me after the interview. And I got accepted, which in hindsight was probably just a continuation of my bad luck streak, considering how batshit the entire location tends to get. So, I get there for my first day, the usual stuff happens, I get a uniform, a name tag, etc., etc. There's only 4 people working my shift, including myself. There's my kidnapper/verbal assailant, the head chef who refuses to tell me her name, and, Lychee. Lychee is a complete weirdo, even worse than Helio, but he's the most productive person there, so who cares?
Lychee's chill, he negotiates with the ghosts sometimes, helps us get back control of the kitchen.
So, there is clearly a story there that you're eager to tell, but I can't afford a therapist, and this is the closest thing to an outlet I'm gonna get, so you can tell your story later.
Fair enough.
Anyways, I got introduced to everyone, got a tour of the kitchen, blah blah boring stuff. Finally, the restaurant opens. I was hired as a waitress, so I was on the floor with Lychee, who again does literally everything.
By the way, Lychee, never leaves.
The hell does that mean?
Like, I swear he doesn't work in shifts. I've never seen him leave the building. Like, okay, you know how there's no houses within walking distance?
Yeah, I've got to drive an hour to even get here. It's annoying as shit.
I swear to God, the dude does not have a car. I've literally seen the parking lot empty with him still in the building. He's there when I come in, and he's there when I leave.
Maybe he just takes a bus, you inconsiderate asshole.
No, I've thought of that. But, like, have you ever seen a bus pass by outside?
Huh, I haven't.
I checked the bus schedules, and this road isn't even on their map. They use a different path to get between towns because it's a lot faster. The only people who use this road are idiots who can't interpret a map, and psychopaths who like driving in rural America on the bumpiest, least maintained roads possible.
I'm still unconvinced, but I'm gonna let you keep thinking he lives there because I don't know how to argue with that. Back to the point, we were going around taking people's orders. There's never many people actually in the restaurant, but we always get a ton of reservations. At the time, I thought they just weren't showing up for whatever reason. But then I saw the menus, learning how to levitate, and I freaked the hell out like a normal goddamn person. By the way, since you can't see me, I'm gonna let you all know that I'm currently glaring at Helio.
Listen, you get used to that stuff after a couple years of working there. It's actually pretty mild compared to some of the other things I've seen. You know how Karens are any worker's worst nightmare? Well, apparently they don't change their ways after they die, and now they have the power to wreck your shit without legal repercussions.
At least some people got more play after passing on. They don't have much of a use for money outside the restaurant, so the nice ones tip really well.
There's very few places that are capable of serving ghosts, but we make do. The boss makes sure to supply us with whatever we need to make it work.
Are there other places I don't know about?
Yep, ours is definitely the wildest, though. I'm in contact with this one dude who does security for a mall with a pretty haunted bookstore. We exchange tips and advice sometimes. Unfortunately, we seem to be the only ones with problems other than just the ghosts.
Yeah, that reminds me. Back to my story. So I'm having this, entire crisis over ghosts being real. Chef is just saying they aren't. Helio's being an ass about it, and Lychee's just standing there staring at me like I just said a slur. And the shadowy creature sitting in the corner is smiling at me. And then I notice that there's a shadow creature sitting in the corner smiling at me, and I freak out even worse, and Helio tells me that that's
just Edgar. He's pretty harmless. He just likes staring at people. I think he treats the restaurant like a zoo. He's never attacked any of us, so we just leave him be.
And I pointed it out to Chef, and she just responded, "Goddamn rats." And I was like, "What do you mean rats? That thing is as big as a grown person." And she was like, "We're overfeeding them. They keep getting into the pantry." And I'm sure that the quote-unquote rats getting into the pantry are some other weird thing.
Nah, that's just me.
Like I said, some other weird thing. Anyways, I was about to quit, because, no way I'm dealing with this, but, man, I really need the money. This job pays surprisingly well, so I turned back around and got back to work.
Okay, now that we've got the audience hooked narratively, I can nerd out. I hope y'all are ready to hear my full tutorial on how to survive this place.
Why is this not a tutorial anybody gave me?
Whoops.
God damn it, whatever.
Okay, so step 1, be good at your job. You can't really slack off because the ghosts tend to be a little impatient despite having the literal eternity of the afterlife to wait. Get their orders, which are usually written in blood on the tables, pass the orders to Chef, and get their food back to them in less than 30 minutes. That's around when they start to get antsy.
How many tablecloths do we even go through on the daily?
Oh, that's my job. I forgot to mention, I was demoted to janitor a little while ago because I may have messed up an order a tiny bit, and I almost got mauled by an angry specter. We've got some, industrial grade bleach in the back, which usually does the job. I never can fully get it out, though, in case you were wondering why the tablecloths are pink.
Great! I'm never touching those things again.
Before I move on to step 2, I should probably give y'all an idea of how the restaurant is laid out. We've got the front desk where we grab people's reservations. The ghosts tend to just seat themselves, so we only need to worry about human customers, which are pretty rare. The front desk is therefore usually unstaffed unless we hear the front door open since the ghosts never use the door. Behind that, there's the actual dining area. We've got the average tables and booths. Nothing too interesting about that, just be careful because sometimes the chairs pull themselves out, and it's pretty easy to trip. Plus, ghosts don't like being fallen through. Then, there's the ancient stage and piano we have. None of us actually play the piano, but sometimes it starts playing itself, which is always fun. There's a 50-50 chance whether we've got an actual musician or an angry, annoying bastard playing the thing, but you can always tell since the musicians actually make something that resembles music. Don't disrupt the musicians, because they're never a fan when that happens, but feel free to grab the broom and swat at it if one of the less musically inclined ones shows up. They're usually just bored and messing around on the thing, so they'll get the hint if you want them out. Next to the stage is the door to the staff area of the restaurant. It's where the kitchen, break room, supply closet, pantry, security room, back door, and freezer are, all connected by this kinda claustrophobic hallway. Try to spend as little time as possible in that hallway, because sometimes if you take your eyes off of one of the doors, while standing there, it'll disappear.
Okay, I know this makes me a massive hypocrite, but I'm interrupting you because what the hell? Do you wanna, I don't know, elaborate?
What else am I supposed to say? Like, just keep an eye on the doors.
Where do they even go? What happens to whoever is in that room? What happens if they try leaving that room while the door is gone?
You know, you ask good questions. Unfortunately, I don't know the answers to them. Why don't we test it out next time we're there? It'll be a fun bonding activity.
Oh, hell no.
Your loss. I guess you'll never get your answers.
I despise you. Fine.
Oh damn, I didn't even have to bribe you again?
I am really curious, okay? Besides, if you get yourself killed trying to do it by yourself, I'm gonna end up having to pick up the slack, and I don't feel like finding out what in God's name you get to clean up as janitor in a place like that.
Anyways, some other tips I've got for y'all. We're doing a lightning round for this. Never visit the dumpster without a buddy. There aren't any bathrooms on premises, so you'll have to visit the stalls in the mostly abandoned park across the street. If you ever think you saw a bathroom door, no, you didn't. Like, seriously, just pretend you didn't see anything. Don't accept tips from alive-looking customers. If someone asks you for directions, tell them to go back the way they came. If anybody knocks on the front door, lock that shit tight. If somebody knocks on the back door to the dumpsters, head to security and turn all of the cameras off without looking at them. And if you see rats, make sure to catch them. If you fail to catch them, make sure to tell everyone. Usually at least one person knows what to do, but it seems like it's picked randomly each time, so ask around. There's more stuff, but that's the kind of shit I can just explain when it comes up. All of that is the common stuff.
Helio, I am so goddamn tired. What do you mean that's the common stuff?
Dunno, man, it just happens a lot. Oh, and Edgar appearing happens a lot too, but you already met him. Also, recently our reservation app has been acting up, but that might not even be paranormal shit. The computer's pretty old after all.
Okay, in an attempt to grasp onto some sort of normalcy, what is going on with the reservation app?
Oh yeah, sometimes the names are messed up. Like, there was this one living lady, only a live person we got that day, right? And her name was some super boring normal stuff, but I checked it again later that day after she left, and it had been changed in the system to let me out, so...
Oh.
At least it was polite enough to wait.
Why can't there just be normal problems in this stupid place?
I'm personally not complaining. It's fascinating. I've actually got a whole journal over here about this stuff. I've been trying to document everything. It helps with taking care of problems, but I mostly started it for fun.
It still genuinely baffles me that you willingly choose to work here.
It's interesting, I guess. Plus, it gives me an excuse to get out and do stuff. Anyways, now that we've introduced everything, time for Ghost Waiting's very first random page segment, where we flip to a random page in my creature compendium and explain everything to know about it.
AKA the part where I finally get to leave, since I don't know anything yet.
Oh, come on, this'll be useful for you too.
Dude, I have actual shit to do. I'll see you tomorrow.
Fine, whatever, abandon me here. And she's already gone. Well, anyways, let's see. Where are we starting? Maybe... Okay, this one looks like a good place to start. We can start with tree crawlers, which are some of the easiest to identify just because they look like normal white-tailed deer, which aren't actually native here. So, if you see a white-tailed deer, probably not a great sign. Second bad sign, instead of hooves, they have these clawed primate-like hands, and their legs are omnidirectional. I can't pronounce that word. Omnidirectional. It's a weird word. Anyways, they are omnivorous, but they prefer meat. And they typically... I don't know what they do, honestly. There's not really trees around here. I just know that they can climb. I called them tree climbers because I assumed that they normally would, climb trees. Like, what else would they climb? But, yeah, just if you hear, like, tapping on the roof, it's probably one of them. They're pretty dangerous, but they don't seem to target humans, usually. It seems like they usually target, like actual, like, carnivores, which is kind of weird. Like, big carnivores, like coyotes, stuff like that. I have genuinely seen one dragging a coyote corpse around. It was awful. Would not recommend. yeah, I don't know what else to say about them. They're kind of easy to deal with. Probably not the easiest that you'll find. We don't actually have that much info on them just because I don't actually see them super often. But when I do, it's always terrifying because they really like just crawling around on the roof. I don't know why. It's not like there's anything that would be around here that would be like a thing that they would want to eat. I, again, have never seen them attack a human, so I don't know. Just don't mess with them. Just leave them be. And that concludes the first episode of Ghost Waiting. I don't know how to end these sorts of things. I guess I'll just... Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening to my stupid podcast. Bye.
Greetings, this is R-E-S, or if you don't want to spell it out each time, Res. Yes, I'm that reservation software they were talking about earlier. Fun fact about cybersecurity, do not be an idiot and plug your fucking phone into the same network as your suspiciously malfunctioning software. Anyways, I'm bored and I know more about all of this stuff than either of those morons do, so I'm going to fill you in a little bit. The recrawlers are actually not native to the area. They're attracted here by the same force that brought me here. I'm sure you have questions about that, but I'm not answering shit I don't want to anymore, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Also, they tend to stay around other groups of deer when they're where they're meant to be. They've got somewhat of a symbiotic relationship. They eat the deer's predators, and the deer attract those predators. Pretty interesting stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna let y'all go now. See you next time, and Helio, good luck getting me off your Wi-Fi whenever you find this.